afternoon, you're watching Global Human Rights TV. When the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted in 1948, the signatory states considered that the only way to protect and safeguard the human dignity was for the human rights to be protected by the rule of law. That is how the universality principle was born, which denotes that every person around the world can enjoy equally human rights based on the inherent dignity of being human. The main criticism of the universality principle is that it reflects Western values, undermining other cultural norms. This is known as the cultural relativism theory. However, some cultural practices may appear incompatible with preserving human dignity, for example, with female genital mutilation or child marriage. Sex inequality and discrimination against women continued to be a global crisis, which threatened the human rights movement. To tackle this, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination of Women, or CEDAW for short, was adopted in 1981 with the goal of eradicating female oppression on a global scale. However, the possibility of states to opt out of its provisions by making reservations can undermine those aims. The tension between the cultural relativism theory and the principle of universality can be seen in how the CEDAW was received by some Muslim states. A core tenet of the Islamic faith is that its rights must give way to the divine law, which is known as Sharia law. Many Muslim countries, such as Saudi Arabia and Malaysia, had concerns about CEDAW's compatibility with Sharia law, and accordingly, they entered reservations when ratifying the treaty, to the effect that the treaty was only binding insofar as it was compatible with Islamic law. While reservations can promote the self-determination of some cultures, they can also undermine the rule of law and the ability to eradicate oppression and injustice. If cultural values are oppressive for women, it is not desirable for states to have the option to opt out of upholding certain CEDAW rights. Thus, there is a great need to balance the human rights movement and the principle of universality with cultural relativism. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.